chip. Shin-Etsu is wonderful. It's probably the best, has the best thermal qualities of any CPU thermal paste out there. It has no curing time whatsoever, so it works immediately. Pretty much anyway. It is absolutely, completely, 100% non-conductive electrically, which means you don't have to worry about when you're putting it on your video card getting an accidental spill or whatever and ruining your video card. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people ruin their video cards because Arctic Silver will run or whatever, or you know, they'll have some traces on their finger and end up touching the back of the card and causing a short, because Arctic Silver is very slightly electrically conductive and electrically capacitive, which means it almost acts like a little battery and can hold a charge between contacts. So I do not recommend Arctic Silver anymore. Shin-Etsu is wonderful. I also recommend a product by Arctic Cooling, which is the people that make the silencer video card, or not, Celeron GPU coolers and stuff like that. They also make pretty good CPU coolers. Their product is called Arctic Cooling MX-2. It's actually really, really good. So Shin-Etsu first, and then if you can't find Shin-Etsu, then Arctic Cooling MX-2. Both of these are non-electrically conductive. They are thermally conductive, however, of course. So Shin-Etsu and MX-2 actually are very, very viscous, very thick. So I recommend when you apply these that you heat them up, heat the syringe or the tube up in some fashion before you apply them, because that will heat up the thermal compound and cause it to flow out of the syringe a little bit easier. I usually do this by putting it in a cup of face down, tip down in a cup half full of hot water and let it sit there for about 5 minutes, and that's all you need. And that, you don't absolutely have to do that, but it helps the thermal compound flow out of this syringe, because believe me, as viscous as this stuff is, you're going to be pressing like hell on this plunger, especially in a cool room. So there you go, there's my recommendation. Okay, got everything all installed. We have our motherboard, we have our 9600 GSO PCIe, have our Audigy SE 7.1 channel sound card, a PCI slot, have our serial ATA connected, all our front panel connectors connected, power is connected. So now all I gotta do is plug it all up and see if it powers up. Okay, we got keyboard, we have mouse, we have power, Ethernet, all connected. Video, so now let's see if it powers up. Oh, we have lights. We have video. We have video. Ooh, Biostar logo. Cool. Let's get in there. Alright, so let's dig in and see what the BIOS has in store for us. We'll have to pardon the messy desk. It's actually quite embarrassing, but not embarrassing enough for me to actually give a shit. So let's get into the BIOS. Looks very much the same as the previous board. Get rid of that floppy drive, we don't need that. ADE configuration. All looks good. Actually surprised at how full featured this BIOS is. It even allows you to configure the serial ATA before or after the parallel ATA. So if you need to boot from that old parallel ATA connector, you can. Take my DVD drive. Good old Light-On 8X DVD-RW. Options to write protect the hard disk. Options for IDE detect timeout in case you have a really slow old hard drive connected. CPU configuration gives you a nice layout. Of course, it says frequency is 1.2 gigahertz, but that's because I haven't gone in and configured this front side bus speed and all that. C1E, I'm going to leave all enabled. I have no idea what Intel C-state technology is. It may be another word for speed step or whatever Intel calls it. It's probably E1S or EIST. Just a different word for it. But I've never seen it referred to in that fashion before until this board. So, core multiprocessing. That would be hyper-threading for cores that offer it. Let's see. Super I/O, we have our floppy controller, which I can disable. Serial port, disable that. Parallel port, I'm going to disable that. That's all legacy stuff. Keyboard power on, mouse power on. Options to restore. Nice health screen. Even gives you an option to adjust the shutdown temperature. Shows you CPU, system temperatures, fan speeds, voltages. Pretty impressed with this little board. Smart fan configuration. Power configuration, fully featured. Very nice. Very cool. Change high performance event time. It even gives you the option to run it headless, which I really like. USB configuration. Awesome. BIOS DC, EHCI handoff, which I have no idea what that does. This. Usually have that set at 32 on all my other boards, but we'll leave it at default for now, just to get the thing running. I don't want to go screwing with something that is going to cause me not to be able to boot first time around. Gives you options to reserve IRQs. Shouldn't make any difference on a legacy-free system anyway. Reserve memory size. Nope, don't want to do that. Cool. Boot device priority. Take that serial ATA, take that floppy drive out of there. There we go. Hard disk drives. Only got one hard drive in there, and that's it. Removable drives. There's no floppy drive. Disabled. There's our CD DVD drive. Boot settings configuration. Full screen logo. Disabled. Interesting. Boot success beep. You can even turn the annoying boot success beep off if you want. That's pretty cool. North bridge configuration. It's very fully featured BIOS for a $30 or $40 board. Gives you options to use the onboard graphics or add-on graphics. Since I have a 9600 GSO in there, I'm going to use the add-on graphics. Display device. I'm going to disable the onboard graphics because I don't want it using up memory. USB functions. We have 8 USB